Hey guys, this is the Magnaflow Dual Cat-Back Exhaust for the 99 to 2004 V6 Mustang. You're gonna wanna check out this catback if you're looking for a dual exhaust for your V6 that keeps the factory wide pipe and gives you stainless steel materials. This catback will bolt right up to the stock mid-pipe, which means that you don't have to cut or weld or modify the stock mid-pipe at all to get this installed. And keeping your stock wide pipe means that you're gonna get a different kind of sound with this catback. Catbacks that swap out the wide pipe for an X pipe are going to give you a much different type of sound than the wide pipe will. So if you've decided that you like the sound and looks of the dual exhaust with the stock wide pipe still installed, this is one of the systems that you should take a look at. The install for this is easy. It's a 1 out of 3 wrenches in the difficulty meter, since you don't have to modify anything and this just bolts right up into place. This catback is made from 2.5-inch stainless steel. It's mandrel bent and has 2 straight-through mufflers to give the V6 a louder exhaust note while still keeping that stock wide pipe, and it's finished off by the polished 3-inch stainless steel tips. This is one of the only dual exhaust conversion kits that gives you those 3-inch polished stainless steel tips, so if you shop around, just be mindful of that. And because this does keep the stock wide pipe, you still retain some of that V6 Mustang sound. You get a louder sound with this system, but it stays more true to the stock V6 sound with little to no raspy notes. If you were to switch over to an X pipe, for instance, you get a different type of sound. So overall, I'm gonna call this system a 3 out of 5 on the loudness meter. The other thing to keep in mind is that these will fit under your stock bumper without any modification, but you can always swap out the rear bumper to one that has dual exhaust cutouts. Like I said, you don't necessarily have to, and the tips will fit just fine and hang out under the rear bumper, but you always have the option of swapping out the rear bumper for one that includes a dual exhaust tip cutout. As far as price goes, you can expect to pay right about $600 for this catback. That does make it one of the more expensive options that you have, but it is full stainless steel. If this is more than you wanted to spend, you can always check out some of your other options that are on the site. You have a lot to choose from, including systems that replace the wide pipe. It doesn't take much to get this catback installed. I'm gonna call this a 1 out of 3 wrenches in the difficulty meter and hand it over to one of our installers to show you exactly how it's done.
The first step is gonna be to lift or support the vehicle from underneath to get to the underside. As you can see, the exhaust system's pretty rusty. With a car of this age, it's not uncommon, and it's gonna be a good idea to use a little bit of rust penetrant to get the bolts to free up. Now, using a 9/16 socket, unbolt the flange at the front of the cat. So since this is an old exhaust system, it's got a lot of rust and we're not going to reuse it ever, we're going to make the removal a little easier by just cutting the over axle pipe. So using a 10mm socket and an extension, I'm going to unbolt the exhaust hanger right before the rear axle. And now you're free to remove the rest of the tailpipe assembly. So you're going to install the supplied J-nuts into the body on the opposite side of the previously removed exhaust hanger in the open holes. Using the supplied hardware and hangers, install the hanger on the passenger side. Right now I'm going to remove the old exhaust hardware and hangers from the original exhaust and reinstall it back on the vehicle. So using the supplied J-nuts, we're going to install these into the body at the rear of the vehicle by the rear bumper. With the J-nuts installed, you can install the supplied rear hangers and bolts. Using a 13mm socket, you can tighten up the bolts. Reusing the OEM fasteners, we're going to install the muffler assembly at the flange. So with a 9/16 socket, we're going to snug the bolts but not tighten them all the way. Just pre-installing my clamps so when I put my over axle pipes on, I can slide everything together. At this point, you can install your new rubber hangers. A little bit of lube will go a long way in making it easier to install them. Now we can install our over axle pipes. Supporting one side of the Y pipe to make life easier on the other side. Now you can repeat this on the other side. Now I'm going to install the supplied hangers into the muffler tips and leave everything loose to allow for adjustment. Now I'm just going to slide my clamps over the pipe so that when I attach my tips, I can slide everything together. Now I'm going to install my tip over my exhaust pipe. With the tip installed, I can slide the hanger into the previously installed hanger bushing. Repeat this process on the other side. With everything installed on the vehicle and loose, you can start securing your clamps. And that's how you install a dual exit catback on your 2000 V6 Mustang.